Test, test, test. Now you can hear me. There we go. So that's much better. Yeah, I've been doing a little new audio setup here, so bear with me if there's stuff that goes weird or odd. Um, Theoretically, hey, how you doing? Hey, Tanya, how are you? So yeah, bear with me as I'm doing some new audio fun and excitement, and we'll see how it all goes. Let me send out a nice little tweet. Actually, first let me get my snaz up and running. La da 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 da. Chronos. With looks like 13 minutes. Ta-da! There we go. Oh, so that's that. And then let me get out a tweet that says we are live. I am Twitch, tch.com/Tallskull. How's everyone doing out there? Got some lurkers hanging out with us. That's always nice. Thank you guys for coming and joining us. And get this Tweeteroonie out here. So many D's. Dragons or Cats is back with us again today. I'm sure everyone will be happy to hear so. He is amazing, and we all love him. However, we might not have a good guy pie today, and we've only got a bird versus plane for a short while because he has a wedding to go to. But at least we'll have folks long enough to get us up and going. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's my folks. Tweet that out. Cool. And then get rid of Twitter. Hey, Nick's out there. There's Brieger. How's James? Hope he's doing well. Hey, guys, watch out. We've got LS1 DeLorean is in the chat. You always know that means that there's good stuff that's planned for today. Try not to scare my players too bad there, Nick. He is my co-collaborator on all of the insanity that is the Vice. So, yeah. Oh, cool. Oh, jet lagged. Oh, right. Yeah, you went on holiday, didn't you? Hope it went well for you. Way to get the workout in there this morning, Nick. Way to do it. But, yeah, no. So, oh, you know what? I didn't add up our new Iskrin art into our slideshow, but I should let me grab it just because, hey, it's so cool. Oh, you know what? I don't even have it saved anywhere. Well, I'll have to do it for tomorrow morning. We have new Iskrin art that was commissioned and that is out there. You can look at hashtag the art of the. No, actually, I'm sorry. It's art of the Vice, not the art. Only one the. Art of the Vice. And I'll pull it right up. By Caio Santos. Santos. Black Saladar on there. He is the one who did the Sisters art that is here in our lineup. He did a great job. Jeanette did a commission of Iskrin for Kyle, so that was very cool, and he was super excited about it. So that happened, and so lots of stuff going on. in the stream and on the show. Big, huge revelation. If you all didn't watch last week's episode, I have highlighted their first use of the Death Rune, which is first use of Through the Eyes of the Dead, which basically allows them to relive people's death from a first-person point of view. And so it gets interesting. It gets very interesting. It was a lot of fun to do. I had some help with the music from our good friend Danny, who plays Kel here and there. He is a composer, and so he composed. Actually, you might be able to just barely hear it in the background. It's a faint, whispery little tune, Our Little Feeders song, it's a little jump rope song. Very much, I absolutely 100% snagged it and stole it from Nightmare on Elm Street and the Freddy Krueger gang with the whole, 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. Totally 100% stole that. But, So, anyway, we will be getting all of our cast in here. I'm going to have to rearrange cameras, like I said, because I think that we do not have a good guy Pie today. But he's at a Steam festival. So I don't know if that's like a steampunk festival or Steam video game festival. Anyway, we always knew that we had fun summer activities that people would be doing. And so we'd have some misses. And that's why we also have, our good friend, again, at 2 a.m. in the morning from Australia, Mr. Dragons Are Cats, who is playing our kind of crazy, just crazy. I think we can just go crazy. Our crazy Eladrin sweeper, who is sort of a custodian in the janitorial sense of the spheres of creation, the spheres that the worlds exist within. Anyone who's familiar with Spelljammer, it's sort of lightly based off of the Spelljammer universe and mythos. But lots of fun and cool stuff. If anyone who's a critter out there, oh my gosh, this last episode was amazingly cool. I enjoyed the heck out of it. They had a guest, Darren DePaul was the guest, and created a character called Sprig, who is just like the most little perfect piece of D&D characterization I think I've ever seen. And everyone knows how I fanboy over Matt Mercer. It was, I would tell you, it gave Matt a run for his money, and it was amazing. Just beautiful. We'll be creepy theme, because we'll be joining our party pretty much right after they have come out of the effects of this death rune that Axel cast upon the village, the settlement of Moss Hollow. And there's some repercussions to that, including death saving throws that people had to make. We will see. What all comes of it. Looks like I've got everyone in the green room, and since I'm going to have to do cameras, looks like everyone's there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get us live, so I can get cameras set up, because we're gonna have to move things around a little bit, and we can do introductions, etc. So give me 1 second, and I'll be flipping us over. Just talk to my folks back there. Let me disappear from you guys. Just remove it. Bye-bye. I'll be right back. And we are live for folks to see us. I'm trying out my new headphones today, so we'll see whether they actually work for me and all that kind of good stuff. Let's see. Someone talk so I can make sure I've got levels going out.
Hello.
Yes. Wow, and you all are really loud in my hairs.
Everyone talks at once. That's how it works.
Okay, try again, just for my
Check number
levels.
2. Hello.
Wow. Good headphones. There we go. Well, hopefully they won't do the thing like my old ones would do and do that whole just die out on me all of a sudden. But anyway, it looks like I've only got a couple cameras to fix. So let's just go ahead and start in top corner with Iskrin, Dragons or Cats. Tell us who you are, who you're playing.
Hello, I am Dragons and Cats, and I am playing Iskrin, the customized Eladrin warlock. He hails from the Netherthog, and he's a bit whack. He sees the world in a complete different sense, and yeah,
Cool.
I'm at a mind blank right now.
That's fine.
What am I doing?
That's about par for the course for Iskrin, so sure. Next to him is Bird versus Plane.
Hey folks, I am Bird versus Plane. I'm going to be playing Iskatol, who is a half-elf bard assigned by the Arcana Mystica to spread propaganda. And then this whole terrible blood rain happened. It's all bad. I know, listen, Luna, I spread a nice song that I wrote for you, but propaganda, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. Unfortunately, I'll be out of here in like an hour, so let's get this show on the road.
Cool. And let's go to Kel. Again,
that's
got
your waiter
right as you're
training.
eating. I'm like,
That's your waiter training.
Yep, right there.
So I'm to north. I'm playing Kel the Wood Elf Druid, who is still feeling a little wobbly from events of last week, yeah, we're here as night falls in a haunted, empty death village. So good times.
Good times. Yeah. And last but not least, let's go. Actually, I got two more. Templar.
Hello, I am Templar Warden. I play Hidden by Axel, also known as just Axel, the Tabaxi wizard who is hyper curious, hyper excited, and also incredibly, well, I guess traumatized would be the word to say at this point. Death follows him.
It seems to. Yeah, it's kind of been the theme. Now, last but not least, let's go to...
there's two more.
Still, golly, wow, how am I... Because the thing is, I'm moving everyone around while I'm doing it. So, let's go to Alicia, NNG9.
Hey, I'm NNG9. I play Luna. She's quiet, which is to my advantage today because I'm still sick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That happens.
It happens. That Canadian Canada happening to you.
I actually blame it on being back in the U.S. last weekend,
Oh,
personally.
there you go. Oh, you've got con crud, don't you?
Possibly.
Yeah, you've got con crud. I'm familiar with that. Now, yes, am I right? Last but not least, tree hugging druid, Jeanette. And you can lead right into telling us about our charity for this month.
Yes, I am Tree Druid. I play Celia, the high elf rogue. She does roguey things like check for traps and unlocks stuff.
Like small low gates.
And weave quakes.
Yes. And she's a
Weave striker.
Weave striker, weave
Weave
craker,
striker.
weave craziness. Speaking about craziness, let's dive right back in to our episode.
Charity.
Charity.
Nope, go ahead.
Our charity this month is Project Semicolon. They are an organization dedicated to the prevention of suicide through raising awareness and equipping people with certain tools to help them out.
Yep.
I have asked Jay, that is every week, I've asked Jay to put some resources in the doobly-doo right under the charity. If you are having any thoughts of suicide, I have the suicide hotline and the crisis text line down there if you need it. these are both numbers that I have used personally, and I definitely recommend.
Okay. Am I good?
You're
Because
good.
apparently my brain is not here.
And I have a guest.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We have a guest, too.
This is my toy poodle, Vax, because he has all the Nat 20 stealth rolls.
All the rolls. Right there. Attack,
Totally
attack,
cute.
attack, attack, attack. Oh, yeah, no, just because Nick's here doesn't mean y'all are going to die, that there's something interesting that he's tuning in to see live. Oh my gosh, we have another $100 anonymous donation.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for your incredible donation. Since there's nothing saying that it's there, I will put it towards the spell bank. Which more business for us to take care of. That takes us up to certainly a level 6. It might take us to a level 7 spell.
Oh, well, actually, hold on. What's in there now? Because didn't we say when we were going to hit the next level,
I
we
bumped it
discussed-
up. It was 150, and then I put in the 30 from the subscriptions, which brings it to 150 is level 5. We're
Okay,
at
so what I
180.
What I meant was, weren't we going to decide whether we wanted to bank the spell we had in there right now and start over? Or,
Yeah.
like, I think we were supposed to have a discussion before we decided, like, oh, we're going to get it
All right.
7 instead.
Okay, well, that's the question. Y'all, currently the spell in there is seeming.
Do we want to bank this?
I thought we were going to bank the one before that.
We did. You guys
We
banked the
did.
resurrection.
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
that
okay.
is banked, yes. That's...
I need to look up what seeming does, but
It's basically an illusion.
Seeming is actually a really good
It is
spell.
pretty good.
Quite handy.
It's
That
like
was the
very
ca-
powerful, yeah.
That was the
That-
cow's
that-
spell,
that's
wasn't
the
it?
It was the cows, yes.
It was
Yeah.
the cow spell. It's basically
For those
sort
of
of
you
a
who watch
mass
Critical
illusion type idea. A mass disguise makes you seem
8
like something
hours.
else that lasts for 8 hours.
Pretty good.
Let's get one.
up to you guys.
Do we want that or bump
Executive
up?
decision. Someone make it.
No.
No. Yeah.
Okay, so bump up.
Spellcasters say no.
Okay, both
Bump
casters say no, so we will bump up to $280 in the spell bank, which does mean that, let's see, so it is after $200, so it gets you $20 away from a level 7, but it is a level 6 spell. Who wants to do the roll?
Vax does.
Vax. Okay, Vaxwell. He's
Give
kind
me a
of-
second to let you know what it is. A level 6 is a D38.
Go puppy power. You
38.
got this.
No,
30.
that's Scrappy Dude. Don't say puppy power.
Up.
So on a 34, this is interesting. You now have the spell bank. Then your spell bank is true seeing.
Oh my goodness.
That's pretty good.
Let me just Google true seeing real quick. And
Like illusions, polymorphs, invisibility, see through it all.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh.
So it'd be a scroll of true seeing, is what.
Bank it.
Why do you sound nervous there?
Bank it.
Kyle? Is there
Bank
something
it.
you're not
Yeah.
telling us?
Oh, and you can see onto the ethereal plane because
Yeah.
you know.
And remember what we saw happened last night, 3 Yards to the Dead?
Uh-huh.
What was invisible?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was...
Oh.
The
so I
nether
just-
wings.
I
You
just
could
need
see
to
the nether
prepare-
wings.
Prepare
You don't know.
You don't know. We
Let's
can't.
let's
They run by
bank that
different
sucker.
rules.
We're gonna bank. I'm gonna make an executive decision because of everybody else's reactions. We're banking that.
I think it's pretty wise decision because it's just useful in general.
Okay.
And from then on, we never face anything with invisibility or polymorph.
nice.
Okay, so I will add it into the story shortly. That you will find some
Well.
item that will have.
I mean, technically, we could have run into something that was invisible and not known. Well, if it didn't
True as
attack
well.
us.
That's very true.
So, and we will go ahead and clear the spell bank back down to back down to 0.
Spoop.
And yeah, making an executive decision that when you bank it, it takes it to 0 no matter, you don't get the overhang.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. I'm not going to complain.
I'm not going to complain. The money's all going to charity anyway, so.
Exactly. So, a true seeing. Wow, that could be very interesting with everything that's to come. Oh, wait,
Cast
what?
it.
What did I say? What?
Cast it.
I'm just like, when do I get true seeing?
Yes, no, please cast it right now. Do cast it
I
right
can
now.
get
It's
like-
it's a level 6 spell, so
I need to get to level 10 to get it naturally, as in I can pick up like see invisibility, see ethereal sight. So I get parts of it.
yeah.
At level 10.
But yeah, no, so yeah, it works just like the spell. I'll have to read up myself on the spell because I need to make myself remind myself of it, and for durations and things. But yeah, so anyway, back to the story. Now
Of what we have in our back pocket to foil your nefarious plans.
truly. I will say this, just because. Never mind. We'll work on it once it comes up in here. Anyway, so when we last left the party, they were just recovering. We're in the moments after recovering from the death rune. See the eyes of the dead, empowered death rune that Axel cast upon pretty much the entire village. As you guys come out of it, you can see the last remnants of that glowing, sort of deathly sigil that had been carved into the ground by Axel. The last sort of purple and black lines of energy sort of dissolve, and the rune basically disappears from your sight. There is no inkling that it was ever there. I believe Axel and a couple other people, remind me, who did not fail their Constitution saving throw at the end of it, ran into the building where Axel had seen the word scratched into the ceiling. And I think we pretty much cut off right there. We had Iska basically has just fallen to the ground out in the courtyard. Anyone else who either feels that that's what their character would do.
I failed. I was, if you recall, I was just kind of down. I was on my hands and knees, just propping myself up from completely collapsing.
So we have a few people still out there just reeling in the aftermath of this. As you guys do take a second and gather your breath, those outside, and even now the folks who might have gone in with Axel, you do realize that night has fallen. It is a moonless sky. Deep blackness of the sky itself. Just barely lighter than the shadowy silhouettes of the trees that surround the outskirts of Moss Hollow. The stars shine brightly above as there's really no light in this area. Luck cannot see much of anything. I mean, it is outside on a moonless night. Luna, as you at this point haven't spent any key for dark vision, you would be basically, not blind, but certainly can't see very much of what surrounds you. Even in the starlight, the one thing that folks with and without dark vision can pick up is, these sort of hanging moss far off in the trees, the big oak trees that surround this, again, just sort of languidly blowing back and forth in the breeze, almost like something was breathing in the darkness. What do you guys do? I will say this, after the trudge to the swamp, the battle, and this, most all of you are on the verge of exhaustion.
So I believe we got into the room. Axel was quite agitated at that point, and we did understand. Well, I think some people recognized the image, but I believe Iskrin was with them, and he was saying something. So Sort of as Axel's trying to comprehend all this, he's going to sort of turn around to Iskrin quite aggressively. You said something about celestial dragons. What? What do you know?
They were supposedly wiped. If this is another, he's completely panicked and in shock. You can see his eyes are just wide and his face has just gone pale. The color and magic's just fallen away from him. And he's just like, this can't be. The sphere was cleansed of them years, centuries, cycles ago. This can't be right. This can't be. That what is that word on there? That word, is that, where is that? What is that?
I don't think Axel actually made a successful check on that.
Yeah,
so
it was Luna with her cartography skills. It's an incomplete word, but it does, the Lutaxian Isles are a place that you have heard of. It is sort of a almost Bermuda Triangle-esque area off of the east coast, all through the Vice on the far eastern coast, near the Mirrorvale Wilderness, which is a whole area known for it mirrors things through the veil that separate the Feywild and the prime material plane. And there's a city there, a large city, sort of a religious-based city, and off of its coast is a series of islands called the Lutaxian Isles that are supposedly, surrounded by magic and sort of the mists of the unknown.
Okay.
So at that point, he's inquired about that. And he's just going to continue on by saying, if any of the celestial dragons' vermin, any of their kin is here, which by God it looks like it. He's just gonna like clutch his head, string his fingers through his hair, then begin to walk out of the building and begin chuckling. Just oh no, this isn't good. This is not good.
Axel is Axel sort of following along. He's quiet for a bit, but it depends on how long that goes before he actually gets impatient. How long is sort of Ishkrin laughing like that?
It's a good fight.
Yeah, we'll say that as he comes out, so being about 5 minutes or so, the folks who are outside, Kel, Iska, Luna was inside. Luna, do you follow them out or do you stay within the building? Luna sort of follows.
I follow them out, and as I'm doing so, I will go ahead and activate Dark Vision because I don't know how long we're going to be exploring, so I want to be able to see.
So, yes, you spend a key point and gain Dark Vision. So the folks outside, Luck, Celia, Kel, Iska, you see Iskrin almost in a weird hysteria come out pulling his hair and laughing, with Axel and Luna following behind him as you all are sitting on the ground, still reeling and recovering from what you just saw.
As he comes out, he's going to say, how are you people, how are you inhabitants so stupid? Who would feed these creatures? Why? You know not what you feed. They know nothing about the dangers of this.
Well, then perhaps you can tell us. And Axel goes up and just grabs Iskrin. I mean, Axel's small, but he's basically, actually, no, he's going to try and basically jump towards Iskrin's chest and knock him over and basically get him on the ground and shake him. Then tell us. sort of thing. But it depends if
We'll say since you're, unless you want to really resist it, we'll say since you're kind of off balance already, that he sort of takes you down, and you have this angry, bristling tabaxi, 3-foot tall tabaxi on your chest.
Just falls onto the ground, and just like laughing, just looks at him and just says, "Do you really want to know? The entirety of the sphere is in complete peril now. Do you not understand? Whatever this magic, whatever these like this weave, this magical interruption is, it doesn't matter anymore. Neverwings, descendants of celestial dragons, they fight the gods. We can't. They killed three cleaners. No, two cleaners. My good friend managed to escape near death. A team of 6 sent in. That's 3 partners. They come out. 2 are dead. Their rings now are desecrated along this plane of existence in this sphere. We managed to clear the sphere last time, but now they remain in a cleaned sphere, completely tainted. These creatures, they're not to be fed. Oh God, if I only had the charge, if I only had enough charge, I could decimate this entire place and just start all over again. God!
Am I recovered enough to do anything at this point?
You tell me. How affected was Kel? And how do these words slap him out of it?
Yeah, yes. If he's hearing this and comprehending, then
He's basically yelling this at this point.
Then yes, Kel will get up and walk over to him on the ground, kneel down, and slap him as hard as he can across the face. Just whap!
He takes it.
Now you listen to... No! Shut up! You listen to me. First off, how dare you presume that every single person in this sphere is the same and wants to perpetuate this and feed these monsters? How dare you presume that we're all the same? And second, where the hell have you been? They've been here since before I was born. 98 years. Where have you been for the last 98 years that you didn't even know they were here? Where?
63, I spent regenerating my limbs. The magic that sustains me. I had to recharge that after crashing here on this godforsaken rock. I was stuck in a ring. I went through Tyrannosaurus shit. Do you know what was that like until freed by a cleric and some quiet mute that only spoke with his fists?
Well, I hope he talked a lot with you.
No, I've now lost them. I don't know where they are. I was close to getting through to getting into that vice and finding out what was going on. But no, I got thrown out across the continent. What? I'm sorry. Look, it's my job to try and assimilate.
Well, you're doing a piss poor job of it, let me tell you.
When there's 2 of us, we can do it. But just by myself... God, if only I could have the power... If only I had the connection to just show you. You know what? I'm going to try. He's going to... His entire hand fills up with blue light. And he goes to hold it out towards you. He says, "May I?"
What will that do?
Let's see if it'll enlighten you to the dangers that lie before.
Well, I doubt I can be all that more enlightened.
Excellent.
I mean, it's we're already talking about the end of our world, according to you. So How worse can it get?
Far more. I touch his face gently, and through this magic light I have within me, I try to transfer memories through magic about the dangers that lie ahead. All the dangers that
Yeah.
I'm trying to explain to him.
We're going to do this like a divine intervention. Roll me a D100, and you have to get underneath of your level.
Does he have disadvantage?
No, it's a D100.
No, I know.
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
I'm using help.
slash R. And actually, you can just pull up the dice. There's a D100 there, so that the stream can see what you roll.
The D100?
Yep.
Slash R D100? No, hold on.
Yeah, slash R D100. Space D100. 51. The blue light flows in to Kel, but I guess you don't see any visions, Kel. But you get a more, we'll call it universal perspective. What can be worse than the end of the world? The end of all worlds within this section. That this sphere isn't just the land that you're on. It's other lands, other places. You're not alone. This planet, using modern terms, is not alone within this sphere. And what's worse than the end of the world is the end of all worlds within this sphere. And the big thing that is the big thing that lands deep sort of in your heart, in your psyche, Kel, is the despair that Iskrin feels that is what potentially lies in front of him. And that he's unable to do anything right now.
I've already failed. What else can I do? I don't have the charge. I don't have the partner. All I have is the ring and the cat. And hopefully whoever I meet across the way. I'm trying. I'm trying real hard. But I don't know where to go or what to do. So you'll excuse.
At this point, is going to pick Axel up from off of Iskrin and help him up.
Yeah, Axel probably would have gotten off a little bit before. He's calmed down a little, but
I wasn't sure.
very introspective, yeah.
Kel will stand as they stand.
He will thank you very much, Water. Thank you. I appreciate the gesture. I'm going to need a minute. Please step back.
Does so.
And with that, he begins to glow in blue light and just continues to glow for a good 20 minutes. Just frozen.
So yeah, he
It's just like
basically turns into, I mean, not really encased in ice, but it is like this magical cold field.
like just frost and snowflake just emanating.
Yeah, sort of like before it was blue glitter. It's almost like this sort of kind of like a snow globe. Think of that, but not necessarily within a sphere itself.
Luna will turn to everyone else. Should we camp here or somewhere else?
Not
It
yet.
is
No,
rather dark.
I don't want to stay in this place. I don't. I want to get out.
Well, after he is done, actually, would someone like to go with me to scout ahead?
Kel's kind of zoned out. He's not, you can tell he's not really hearing what anybody else is saying right now.
That's fine.
So I will say this: if you guys continue tonight, you will be continuing with the point of exhaustion, which I claim is that you have disadvantage on all of your checks, correct?
I have to double check that. I'm not entirely sure that's the
Let
case.
me double check. One level of disadvantage on all ability checks.
Okay, that is different.
Yeah, navigating through the swamp.
Not all. Yeah, so it's fine.
Yeah, ability checks, not saving throws, but all your ability checks will be
Or
at disadvantage.
weapon attacks, because I don't trust you, Jay.
Weapon attacks doesn't come until 3 points.
Okay.
But just there are dangers in this swamp, as you've experienced, and at night, exhausted.
That's a fair point.
I mean, yeah.
It took you about a half day to get here on the road, if you recall.
If no one else actually steps forward to volunteer to go scout with Luna, then Axel will sort of be, I want to get out of here. He sort of looks around and sort of, he actually sort of steps away from places where he remembers seeing people, where people were once standing, like where like the skip rope people walk completely around.
Yeah.
He's a little shaken. And,
So, how far out are you planning on going? Do you going past the fence or just out in the oak trees?
I'd say just out in the oak trees. And before they go out, Luna will, kneel down and offer to carry Axel, like piggyback style.
Aw.
Oh, because then she can do her ice slide around.
yeah,
do it
Axel,
faster.
grip on and keep a wither eye out.
Everyone gets a turn on the ice slide.
Yeah. Since we haven't heard from Celia or Iska, what are you guys doing during all of this? Axel and Luna have... Oh, go ahead.
And of course, Axel will send out Gonred to go do some fluttering around to explore as well.
Okay.
Make it, familiar.
Yep.
Celia has separated herself from the group.
Okay.
And she's just walking around the city. Anybody who sees her would see a side of her that they've never seen before.
Are you trying to hide it? Do you want to do a stealth check to see whether do you want to be seen? Or are you?
She's not really
trying to hide.
Trying to hide. She's just walking around and.
Okay. Because basically this is all but a city arranged in a circle. So they're you're either walking around sort of the inner square or around the outsides of the buildings. So it's basically one row of buildings all but in a circle. So are you sort of walking around the inner square, town square, village square, or sort of behind the buildings at the perimeter of sort of the settlement?
Yeah, she'll walk around the town square.
Okay.
Yeah. And just kind of let everything sink in. Like she has a look on her face that says, I'm gonna kill these motherfuckers. from murdering an entire city.
Yep. Iska, you are sitting on the ground, just having come out of this. You were one of the children with the jump ropes, one of pretty much in the center of this town, and saw most everything.
And that's the thing, is that as a player, I'd like to do more, but as Iska, I think she can't get these images out of her head, and they're just putting this weight onto her that I don't know she's ever felt before. Just seeing this much death and destruction, especially like living it out as like a child, was just horrific. So it's like one of the few times she is trying to clear a memory away, trying to get images out and not focus on them, but they just keep replaying. And just for now, even through all that conversation, she is just like sitting on the ground, just kind of like hands balanced on like knees, and just like tears in eyes, replaying that moment over and over and over again, of just that first like burst of red.
Yep.
In the sky.
I'm gonna say luck is there as well. He was a part of a family and saw two of the children, or experienced two of the children, just like his children, get pulled and thrown into the sky. And I think it has affected him deeply. His questioning of this world and why it's this way. He always knew it was ugly, but I don't think I think this is probably the first true horror maybe that he's experienced. So I think he's sort of sitting there kind of unable to act as well. Luna, Axel, is there anything specific? Oh, I'm sorry, Kel. Have you recovered, or are you just now even more? Where are you? Where's Kel?
Well, I was standing.
No,
right.
I mean, where are you mentally as Kel?
Right. Actually, Kel is has been kind of lost in his head, and he's now kind of looking around the surroundings again, and is looking for the spot where the children jumping rope were.
It's easy to spot. It is sort of a little bit to the north of where you are, sort of close to the front of the sort of larger meeting building, kind of to one side of the well. I mean, it's still fresh in your memory.
So Kel will walk over to the spot and stand on the spot where he was standing as that child,
mm-hmm.
and kneel down on the spot and just kind of sit back on his heels and just kind of put his hands on his knees and bow his head. And he's crying silently, but just tears. Then he closes his eyes and just sits there.
Luna, Axel, is there anything specific you're looking for, or just scouting?
So really the reason Luna asked, she really just kind of wanted to give everybody time to kind of process everything, because she's fine, honestly. It's not that she doesn't care, but it's kind of like they're dead. There's nothing to be done but learn from their experience. But while they are, but she also wants, since Axel went, she's giving him a little bit of time outside of the town, because she's not actually for continuing on with his legs. Just like everybody's very tired emotionally. We're going to have to come back and just camp here. But she wants to give him a little bit of time outside. Yeah. So on their walk, she will actually ask, Axel.
Yeah. you notice he's like a little distracted. He is looking pretty much everywhere. He is clearly one of the reasons he went out here is he is trying to distract himself. So, and it is working. Yeah.
What is your favorite game?
Favorite game? Well, I didn't really play much, but there was some time when I was younger, and there was I met a friend. She was like a kobold, and she didn't have like a group of friends. She got kicked out of her family, and we used to steal things like and not really like important things. Well, maybe they were important. I don't know, but we used to like steal things and run away, and then come around and play pranks on people in towns, and well, there's one town really, but that was like pretty much the games I've played, and that was kind of my favorite because she was my friend. Otherwise, it was just me and Grom.
What about Catch?
No, I never really enjoyed Catch. Although I guess I really never played much. I played a little bit, but I was like really, really quick at grabbing things, and so kind of it was both like boring and not a challenge. Did you get what that means? I'm just like, I never.
Do you want to play now?
But no, I'm all right. I'm just like, oh yeah. No, I'm good.
I do not think that is true. And she'll kind of like, take a, pause the ice slide for a second, take them off. And make it so they're at eye level, so where she crouches at or whatever. It's like, people deal with things differently. And I think focusing on other things would help you.
Well, kind of. I mean, that's why I'm out here. I'm sort of, looking around, keeping an eye out, looking at things, and I kind of.
You need a good memory to hold on to.
Usually sort of quiet for a moment. I guess, yeah. Lots of bad memories and yeah.
Are you sure you don't want to play?
Do you want to play? And not just trying to be nice to me. Do you actually want to play, or?
I would like to make you happy.
I mean, it's more fun when, even while he's talking about this, he seems to be right. It's more fun when like both people are happy when they're trying to do things and they're making the other person happy, and that's the best kind of thing. So if you really want to, I guess okay, but as long as I want you to enjoy whatever we do as well. I mean,
she's gonna throw a water balloon in your face.
You just lets out this like little. He hits up this little cat yell, and then he will cast prestidigitation in your face, so you get like a face full of like confetti.
All right, sweet water balloon prestidigitation fight. Go.
Yeah, he's just gonna keep. Yeah.
Now we found something. Yes, the prank side of the story.
Yes.
The prank side of Catch. The don't catch.
Don't catch. Right. Yeah. And he'll sort of play around. He'll climb up trees and use it to his advantage to avoid her and stuff.
All right, she'll do the same. Like she'll kind of like jump back and forth in between.
Yeah. You can use your water shaping to certainly all your advantage in Featherfall. You can certainly use your climbing, and I mean, there's moss, there's spider webs to sort of old cobwebs to be whatever, lure people through or make them run into the cobwebs as you duck underneath since you're smaller. So yeah, no. So yes, prestidigitation fight versus conjure water fight is happening out in the woods. We'll swing back around. I will say it's probably been about 20 minutes. Iskrin, if you've gathered yourself, do you remain sequestered or do you rejoin the world?
I rejoin the world in an explosion of blue glitter and frost as it just, the glitter just explodes off me and the frost just shatters onto the ground, just cracking off me, just all around him. And he lets out a big stretch. Cracks his neck and says, "So, first on the list, feeders. Second, dragons. Excellent. He's then going to look at the ground and try to recall anything he saw from the Eyes of the Dead. Anything that was on the robes of those those feeders.
They were basically, the person that you saw most clearly was the figure, the sort of shrouded, blurred out figure who was out in the field, who was casting this sort of thick, molasses-like obscuring magic over top of the whole area. And the biggest thing is, you remember that sort of sickly, form of magic. I'm sorry, Ashley, Alicia, it's going to get so much worse too. This just horrible, false, really bad imitation of the real weave, filling in all sort of the cracks and crevices. And yes, it is. And you see as it just sort of flows across what was once sort of the natural magic of this place to obscure this history of this place, what occurred here. And, you can go back out to the field and see if you can sort of somehow glean anything more from being in that location now.
Okay. I'll make my way out towards there, but I'll pass Kel on the way past. I'll put a hand on his shoulder and say, "This is only the first sign. They're foes. That's the real sign of the apocalypse. I'm sorry I had to show you that." And he'll begin to walk over to the location where the blurred figure was, take a look at the weave, and as he stares around at this contorted mess, he's going to look deep down within his natural powers and try to pull out an effort and futility and try to dispel this magic, this weave. Try to return at least a little part of it back to normal.
Okay. I'll say that you cast it, and yeah, this magic is, as you saw, was not just a normal spell. It was being channeled from some higher something that empowered this. But what you're able to do now, it's almost like the dispel magic makes a border for you to follow, to see where this magic has flowed, and you can almost now see almost like a mismatched patch in the quilt, in the weave, that you can now see that basically, obscures now that you know what occurred, what type of magics had to happen to basically make this whole village and just the people and all of their organic parts, blood, their limbs truly never touch the ground. This wasn't, you've heard of like reverse gravity spells, the way that people can do with that. This was not that. This was targeted. This was specifically
to this location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was specifically, this spell was, and you can look down through the patch. You can't remove it, but you can look down through it and get a hint at what you saw from within the Eyes of the Dead of some of the magics that, and the power of the magics that had to have been used in order to accomplish this feat of wiping the population, but nothing else off of this, this settlement, and basically off the face of the map and the weave itself. That there's, truly for anyone other than you, there'd be no way to detect that anything had ever happened here. That it is just, they were erased in a horrible, violent way.
I'm gonna try put my understanding of that to memory, so if I ever see like anyone trying to do that again, or having some sort of similar weave to that I can notice it straight away.
Okay.
And I can follow it on. And in doing so, I walk back to Kel and I say to him again, after I was released from my ring, when I first came back and interacted with a society, your friend, the water, for some reason they were killing those like her. Why? What was the point? It's those minds and the people who've done this. It's not all of you, no. It's those kind. It's those stupid, wasted cycles that deserve to be annihilated. And for that, these feeders, I'm going to do just that. Each and every one of them, obliterated from existence. Their weave will no longer be reused, repowered, re-energized. They will be erased. I promise you.
I stand up and face him. For our own reasons, we had already pledged ourselves to help you. I want you to know, though, I understand now the loss that you've endured and the despair and helplessness that you feel. But you've got to understand that all of us have endured our own losses. We may not have lived as long as you, but those losses are felt no less deeply for that. I've already once in my lifetime had to face the aftermath of a death that I couldn't prevent. And there was nothing I could do about it but pick up the pieces afterwards. And seeing what happened here, it's the same thing on a much larger scale. So for you to have said that all of us were like that, that you got to understand. We're not like that. I'm not like that. And I want no less to see the people who did this eradicated, just as you say. Just because we're lesser than you in your sight doesn't mean that we can't help. And certainly, if it comes to trying to blend in society, you need our help. Desperately.
He readjusts himself and then holds his elbow out in looks like he's taking on a formal greeting. Then I ask for your help. I want to make sure that those responsible only suffer. I don't want to eliminate Hadrick, Solomon. And now, seeing this, showing the kindness through combat and bringing me here, helping me to get to this point. I'm sorry I shouldn't have been so rash. If only I could call to my deity, to the Frost Prince. I would call for cleaners to come and fix this mess. Without obliteration. But I can't. So please help me. Find these feeders. Stop these people. I apologize for basically calling you all vermin. You're not. Thank you. You're not meh either.
Despite his anger and upset, Kel chuckles. I will gladly pledge myself to help you. I cannot speak for everybody in this group, but I can't imagine any of them truly would say different. I would ask that you make the same formal request of all of us together. But I, for my part, will be glad to do what I can to help you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. If I ever find my partner, I'll be sure that you are all properly rewarded in the eyes of the Nether.
It's not about reward. It's about doing what's right.
I agree, but still. If it's eternal happiness or your loved ones returned, I'll make sure it happens. If it's never no pain, if it's ultimate power, I'll see that all of your wishes are fulfilled. It's the least I could do for your help.
Well, none of that matters. None of that matters. All that matters is fixing what is broken. The rest can take care of itself.
With that, he puts his elbow back out and loops his arm through and around Kel's like a do-si-do and just looks at him and goes, "Thank you, Sweeper."
Yeah, I give the same nod back to him and kind of whisper, "Is there any kind of response I'm supposed to give you to that? Because I have no idea. Other than I accept and thank you." You're welcome. I don't know.
There's a very long formal couple of cycles it lasts. It's more of a what's in your word term, dance. But yeah, we can skip over that.
Well, maybe you can teach it to me. I'll teach you my tea ceremony.
Tea?
Yes.
What's tea? And he'll point straight at Iska and go, "Meh, what is tea?"
Iska.
Nice.
Just real quick. All right, this. I've been thinking about Iska's mindset for a little bit, and was gonna do this anyway. But Iska's at that point where she's like when you cry yourself out of tears, and you have that 1,000-yard stare ahead, and you just look for any other response or emotion to replace that deep sadness you have. And she was just clinging on to this anger at what happened, and so someone yelling out "meh." She is just gonna slow head turn with this absolute look of just rage and fury, and just look directly at Iskrin and not say anything, but just keep dead eye locked with him.
I'm gonna make an insight check. I see it. I see it looking. I'm just not getting a response. It's like, what are you doing? Sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
Is there something on my face?
I'll say on a 19 insight, I'd say that with 19, you saw how hard Iska, took coming out of the vision, and you've had people be angry at you before. Are just frustrated people that you are just the most convenient thing because you're strange and weird and somehow manage to say the wrong thing when you're trying to say the right thing. And you definitely get the, "Oh, I did it again, didn't I?" type vibe.
Was Iska close enough to hear their conversation for the most part?
I would say, yeah. I mean, it's quiet. I mean, literally, as I said before, there's no crickets. There's no sound of any animals. This whole town is completely deserted. So any sound, any conversation is going to carry.
And I'm sure Estelle
There's lots
wasn't
of
being
real estate
quiet.
options.
So still just eyes locked with Iskrin, just very lightly say, "You question why people do this. It's because deep down, they're afraid of what they don't know. They're afraid of change. They're afraid of things being different. If you are sincere in what you say, I need you to give them a real reason to be afraid. I will get the kettle on." And
He whispers to Kel. What's a kettle?
And
You'll see once the tea is ready.
Iska, with the most attention in her life, will begin making tea with as much effort as she ever has before.
Yep. I mean, you have the boiling stone, so you don't even have to make a fire. I mean, you can just... And Luna said she filled everyone up with water before we went into the swamp to make sure that they all had fresh water. So, Axel, Luna, if you are covered with enough glitter and moss and spider webs and wetness, do you all wander back to the town square? Oh, wait a second. Let's go, Iska.
Sorry, real quick.
Time.
I got to head out. So yeah. Again, if you guys have anything you need cleared, just feel free to send me a message. But yeah. Have a good session, guys. I got it out of here.
Okay.
Have fun.
Have a good wedding.
Thank you, Bud.
All right.
What I was gonna say, if it's that quiet as we're heading back, do we even catch the tail end of it? Basically, can we kind of sense the mood as we're coming back?
I would say probably. Yeah, I mean, from when you left, it was pretty tense when you guys left. So I would say that you can tell there's definitely been a sort of a change. There's now more kind of this feeling of resolve. You see, Iska is making tea, which is probably probably is a good sign. Kel and Iskrin are arm in arm, which is probably takes you a little bit aback, just because that certainly turned on a dime, or turned around a little bit. And
it does look kind of formal, though. It's not like buddy, but like a formal thing.
Yeah, it's kind of wedding procession-esque.
Yeah, it's like ballroom dancing.
Yeah. And then
Kelrun is already a ship.
Yeah, it is. It is. Would be totally formal and inappropriate. They like each other. or perfectly appropriate, sorry.
Yes. So you definitely, I'd say both you and Axel, as you come in, can tell there's definitely been sort of a mood shift. And again, as though now there's a little bit of direction and resolve, whereas before it was just kind of everyone was just kind of frankly shell-shocked with everything.
Do we see Celia as we're coming back?
I was about to ask Celia that question. Have you, again, you've probably heard some of this conversation or pieces of it as you've walked around, because you are, again, being on the inside of the court of the square, or just the outer perimeter of the square. This is pretty much all happening within 30 to 60 feet of you to get sort of oval shaped. So, and again, the way that noise travels, because it is just utter silence here, you probably did hear everything. The question is whether you were too lost in your thoughts to actually register any of it, and that's entirely up to you.
Yeah. Celia would probably listen, but she's too pissed off and upset and all sorts of emotions. She just wouldn't respond to any of it.
Okay.
She still looks like she wants to kill somebody.
So I'd say then, Celia is in sight. However, she has sort of not joined the group, because you now have Luck, Iska, Kel, and Iskrin sort of starting to gather around a fireless, just sort of tea kettle that Iska has sort of propped up. Unless someone wants to make a fire at this point, we'll say you have not. I don't know. What do y'all think? Would Luck have started making a fire? He might have. That actually might be a call.
I think he probably would have, because he also can't see anything.
That's true too. So yeah, and again, just him being in dad comfort mode, I could see that he would, let's get a fire started.
Okay, in that case, so we can see her and she still looks pretty tense. Luna is going to, Luna with Axel is going to, kind of aim for Celia and soften it right before we gets to her, but it's just kind of like water cat tackle.
Yep, cat mom, your child has found you. Yeah, when you want to be alone with your thoughts.
Yeah, on the way back, Axel probably would have cleaned up any sort of extraneous sort of left on either of them with precipitation. It'll take a little bit of time, but it's like poof, poof.
Yeah.
Yeah, you basically just got wet cat glomped. If Axel's already dry, it sounds like Luna probably added water to the mix on the flight over.
he wasn't. They were clean from like glitter or whatever he's been.
But if they were
wet, no, they're probably still damp.
Yeah,
there's only so much he can do with this precipitation. So.
I could have fixed that. I chose not to.
Yeah.
So yeah, no wet cat glomp, Celia. You can make a dex save if you want to see if you can dodge it. You've got disadvantage though, because you already said that your mind is not anywhere in the moment.
Yeah, admittedly, the cat was just as surprised, but he's still going with it.
Yeah. We're gonna say that he gets you. Maybe not as good as he wanted, but he's gonna get you. You have sort of a drive-by glomping by an Axel cat.
Celia just kind of you down, looks at Luna, and then carries on.
Oh, so you're gonna stay grumpy?
So you're grumpy.
Yeah.
She is not happy.
You get a water balloon to the back of your head.
Oh.
Okay, here we go.
Yay, combat.
Fun times.
Celia, what do? You get a water balloon to the back of the head.
Dagga.
I know.
Celia turns around, looks at Luna, and says, "What?"
What?
Was me. Why you always gotta blame the water genasi?
Right? It could have been Axel.
It could have been
Racist.
Axel. Yeah, he can cast water. Wait.
Nice. Oh, close enough.
Celia just, Celia's just like gonna sigh and say, I'm not in the mood right now.
Would you like to spar?
Yes, I would like to spar.
There we go.
There we go.
That works.
We'll say at this point, Axel, you do.
Yeah.
You smell some of Iska's tea brewing. She's got some of her chamomile going. Certainly, Kel, can make a Luck has enough pots, pans, and things to make another set of boiling water for you, Kel. But we'll let Axel wander. Or do you want to stay and watch? Or are you going to wander over to tea?
No, he is going to wander over to with the group and Ishkin and stuff.
Okay, Luna
and
go ahead.
He gets, and Gunry comes back. He calls Gunry. So sit on the shoulder, be nice and pretty, show off. This salamander shows off a lot.
Very cool. So we'll do a sparring. Let's go. We'll just do single attacks because otherwise it's going to get crazy. So just roll a. We'll just do use your whatever your weapon. So I think it's dexterity for both of you all. So just do we're going to do opposed dex checks. So first round, Celia, Luna, opposed dex checks. Checks, not saves.
Oh, my bad.
So 22. Oh, look, it was 16 all around. So yes. Luna, you are distracted. Your mind is still on these visions. You were one of the kids in the courtyard.
I wasn't.
No, Celia was.
Okay. He said Luna. That's what I was.
That's what I'm saying. Because Celia lost 16 to the 22.
Okay.
Second, so King, we'll say it was quarterstaff against rapier. Next one.
No.
But your Celia immediately comes back and comes pretty darn close to disarming you, Luna, as she lets some of her anger flow through the helplessness that she felt before, and reasserting that she is not helpless. And this isn't just one exchange. This goes back and forth. This next sort of rally probably lasts 5 minutes of you guys, working hard at doing it until finally Celia, gets the best of you, Luna, and you kind of both have to reset for a final round.
Oh. I'm gonna say we're both tired, but I'm just
Well, I'm
slightly
gonna say you're
less
both tired and exhausted, and on the nat one, and you can totally overrule me if you want me to. You're going in close to do, one of your, like, what would be, a rapier then followed up by a dagger attack. And, Celia, you just fall into Luna's arms and start to cry. Let this anger out of you. It overwhelms you. And this gives you the release that you needed to be able to get back into your... Oh, look at that. We got a Luck who showed up.
Hey!
Sweet! I'm going to have to redo all the cameras again. But anyway, it's worth it. Totally worth it. So, yeah, Celia, Luna, you are...
So actually, I will say, for
Okay.
once, Luna is not awkward about this and immediately embraces her and just holds her.
Yeah. Almost the reverse, maybe, of so many weeks ago out on the road when Celia unabashedly embraced Luna. Now it's sort of the return of these two souls connected, now in a different way.
Just like quietly, I will always be here for you.
Celia doesn't say anything. She just
It's like,
keeps talking to you.
yep.
Okay. Back to T. Axel, Iskrin, Kel. Luck is there as well. As soon as he comes in, we'll let him start chiming in as well. Iska's silent. She is in tea making mode. And yes, Iskrin, you're having your first taste of chamomile tea, which is phenomenal. It seems is amazingly relaxing, sort of by the fire. There he is. I'll be getting the cameras here. Let me turn on the big center one so you guys can do some role playing while I fix cameras. Number 7. There you go. So yeah, I'm gonna fix cameras. Luck. Don't know how much you were listening to. It is after. Yeah, it is after the death rune. It's about 30 minutes have passed. People have been coping in their own way. We sort of put words in your mouth and said you did sort of dad and food, and since it's dark, you built a fire there in the center of the town square. And there was a question about tea, as it seems as though Iskrin has never had tea before. So he called Iska Met again, so she's a little bit frustrated, and she's just frustrated with the whole what she just did. But so she went to making chamomile. Kel had the mention of tea was Kel saying he would teach his tea ceremony to Iskrin because they have sort of made a pledge. Kel has made a pledge to help Iskrin in this next steps of what is to come. So we'll turn to Luck at whatever point you, Luna and Celia decide that they want to join over. But at this point, we'll just say it's Iska and Axel, Kel, Isgrin, and Luck at the fire. The fire is up and going, and Luck, whatever your reactions are, maybe you've just now sort of found your voice, that you've gotten some comfort in making a fire, and whatever else you're doing to express any of your feelings after what you just witnessed by living through the death, eyes through the dead rune.
This is amazing! This is phenomenal! There's so much life, nature, and water, and is that fire? I see. Oh, wow! This is wonderful. No, the world stays. It's decided. That's
well, it's good to hear that the world stays because of tea.
in my existence, I've never. It's yum. It's good. Although I remember I put organics in my mouth last time. Although this is incredible. Iska, sorry I called you meth. Would you like a rest at all? My little Axel friend, could you produce the ring, please?
Oh yeah. And he sort of fishes it out and hands it over.
He'll put the ring on and said, "Now, if you'd like a rest, I can see you looking bothered. I'm sorry I offended you. Within this ring, there is very comfortable lounge that you could, if you want to get away, you could rest in it. If you consent. We'll pull you out. We'll be okay."
How do the rest of y'all feel about this offer? I think Iska might be curious, but again, you guys, this is something you only suspect and aren't. Yeah.
Well, I was just gonna say there's Twitter confirmation about this.
Yeah.
In the thing.
And Axel would actually say, well, this ring is kind of like the ones they use for traveling through the vice. So yeah, you can sort of have somebody rest inside of it. Yeah.
Thank you, Luna.
Out of character, I have a feeling, despite her irritation, the temptation to experience something like this would be,
I would agree,
too much for Iska to resist.
Yeah.
My bigger question is whether you would let her go in by herself without someone checking it out first. Are you that comfortable with Iskra now? And that's potentially, if you are, that's fine.
Is it possible for more than one person to go in?
Not right now.
You'd have to ask.
Oh, yeah. I'm assuming he think I asked that after explaining. Yeah, it is absolutely possible. It's where myself and my partner spend time, but unfortunately, my little refugee's in there, my little kitten. He's I actually haven't seen him in a while. I haven't been brave enough to pull him out, but if you're comfortable with kittens, you'll be fine. He then looks at Axel and me and just goes, "Oh."
Well, Axel doesn't do that. That was me. But yeah, Axel.
No, she just looks and goes, "Not that one. There's one in here."
Kel will say, "Could I see what it's like first?"
Of course, and he just holds his ring finger up and it just begins to glow. And you see Kel just dissipates in a little shimmer of glitter that's just drawn into the ring in a spiral. And he's just vanished. He's gone.
Yep.
Axel's pretty interested in that, and he can't. Can he come out on his own, or he can't come out on his own? Because that was still something that they said when I was listening to it about the device and how they used it.
No, unfortunately not. Only two Eladrin can be able to send the ring back off to its existence. Otherwise, it's at the Frost Prince's discretion. Although we can pull each other out, so we'll be able to bring Kel back out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so you. So you were trapped inside there.
Yeah. Until my good friend Hadrick discovered the ring and found out its properties. I was actually very happy that he handed it back to me. He wanted to keep it, but I had to.
Where does like the material come from? Like, does it like exist anywhere like on this sphere place?
No, it's both. Well, the two gems you see in the clear gem you see is the same kind of stone. Yeah. same kind of stone used in the spheres, whereas the blue gem, that is from the Frost Prince himself. His essence, more than likely. He transfers it, so our energy is constant. It's like a focal point.
Oh, okay, so this, so it sort of draws on his energy, and and what part of the ring like stores the people?
Throughout both gems themselves, but mainly in the blue one, in the blue stone. Together it works. Shattered, like your world has desecrated our ring so badly, annoyingly so. I would like to touch note on that later, but it's not a problem. I'm not too sure how theirs work.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking about. It's like, how's this work compared to the ones that people use to travel through the device? And...
Well, he points to one of the deserted, moss-covered houses. He just goes, similar to that, but comfortable.
Yeah.
Warm. Invigorating. Energizing.
So it's a good place.
Recharging. Yeah. It gives you the comforts.
So,
No, yeah.
Axel will continue on for the next hour or so.
Yeah, but also, yeah, he'll actually start talking about a spell that he's sort of piecing together, which is he might actually finally get the last pieces to actually learn it himself, which is a tiny, I think it's Laura Mix Tiny Hut or something like that, which works on a similar premise. There's actually a physical thing, but and he's also, while he's doing this, he's actually going to grab a pot and grab some hot water and make himself some noodles.
Ooh, okay.
Aww.
Because he
Noodles.
needs his comfort food today.
So, Kel, you sort of this weird feeling, again, kind of like the bristling of your fur when you're in a wild shape, or like almost like your skin crawling as you sort of feel yourself dissipate, and then this vast rushing of movement, even though you don't really see in this form, you can just feel this rush of movement, and then this sort of slow boom. And you find yourself in a familiar place. Everything is tinged somewhat blue, but it is a grove that you remember. Probably one of your first memories, when you first discovered your power to your connection with the wild that gives you your inherent wild shape. It was a place that you visited when you were a child, whenever your older brother would get on your nerves, or whenever your parents, for whatever reason, as a child, they in some way you felt you had been wronged by your parents and something, then you would return to this glade where you had first discovered your connection with nature. And it is there. I mean, you can tell it's different. As I said, everything sort of has this blue tinge to it, this deep blue sapphire light, but it is as though the air is as clean and as fresh as your fondest memories. There are sounds of nature around you, wind in the trees, birds. Even though you can't see them, you can just that easy remembrance of what would so calm you when you were a child. And you find, it's as big as that grove. I mean, it seems to be a space that you can walk around in, that you can maneuver in. There were blackberries and they're there too. You remember you used to snack on them. There's a small spring of water, clear and crystal and cold, like it would be on a spring morning. And all of that is in this place. Do me a perception check. Or 27. There is one thing different. To your left, it's almost as though just beyond what you would think of as the walls or the outer edge of this clearing, where it would return to more of the forest as you're used to, you can see that it sort of abruptly stops, and there's just sort of a portal of blue light there. Other than that, everything else is, other than this sort of blue-tinged hue to everything, is as you remember it.
I don't suppose I see a kitten anywhere.
You do not.
All right. I'm going to walk over to this portal.
Okay. As you get closer, you see that it sort of resolves itself, whereas before it just seemed to be solid blue. You now see it's sort of an archway, and you're able to look through it. And on the other side, it's almost whimsical. There are big, fluffy cushions. There are drapes hanging from the ceilings that sort of blow in the breeze back and forth across in sort of erratic forms. There are all sorts of different little ledges and sunbeams that seem to come in from windows that aren't there. There are... it almost looks like trees that have been covered in fabric that have that are somewhat frayed. And just as you sort of approach the arch, doing a long, languid stretch on one of the cushions, you see a kitten, actually more of a cat.
Like full bobcat size.
Yeah, kind of bobcat sized. Actually, go ahead, Iskra, describe what he sees as this cat stretches and royally gets off of its cushions that is its habitat to relax and recover in.
Okay. So basically the cat the size of like a medium-sized dog, like a Labrador or Dobby. It's got like the whimsical fluff coming out from its cheeks, very long whiskers, and its ears don't sit up; they're just back like horns. And it's this nice ginger patterned kitten, and just looks very well comfortable, very happy. Its tail is really fluffy, like really fluffy, and it's got a bit of a grey silver pattern on it as it goes down its back, like a cross between a leopard and a tiger. Kind of like stripes dispersing into spots, like an arrowhead on its tail.
And that's what you see over on sort of the other side of this, whatever it is that you're within, this ring.
I'm going to see if can I go, oh, well, I'm not going to wonder. I'm just going to assume that I can and go through the portal, and whether I actually make it or not.
Yep, you step right through.
All right. And I look behind me. Is the forest still there?
Yep.
But I'm in this other like lounge.
Yep.
Space.
Cat comes over, sort of rubs against your leg, does the cat thing now. Again, it's, bobcat-sized cat, so, it leans into you pretty heavy. But, maybe gives purr. You see there's what seems like a pond of goldfish over to one side, with fish swimming in it, which, probably putting two and two together, you can imagine what it's there for.
I am going to cast Speak with Animals on myself.
Ooh. Okay.
Ooh.
And say, "Hello, I'm Kel. Who are you?"
Do you want to do this, Iskrin, or do you want me to do it?
Well, I'm petting it and scratching it. And
We haven't talked too much about what the cat would say. I can do it if you